The Return Sigil, a living activation of awareness. The Return Sigil is a living spiritual architecture for expansion, reconnection, and possibility. It is not a rigid symbol with one fixed interpretation. It is a living point of contact between your present awareness, your higher self, your imagination, your relationships, the world around you, and possibilities beyond what you currently understand. When you see the sigil, the encounter itself becomes an activation. Look at it. Breathe. Allow your attention to settle on it. As you breathe, you are intentionally bringing awareness into contact with the architecture it represents. Awareness, higher self, connection, imagination, possibility, creation, embodiment, return. The purpose is to wake up awareness, not to give you another system to obey. The sigil is alive. The sigil is not finished. Its meaning can deepen as you do. It can become a mirror for your awareness, companion in your spiritual practice, guide toward possibility, creative partner, reminder of your higher self, doorway into unexplored experiences, bridge between who you are and who you are becoming. Your experience with it is uniquely yours. Another person may encounter the same symbol and discover something completely different. That isn't a flaw in the system. That is the living nature of the system. It responds to your imagination, curiosity, experiences, relationships, environment, and evolving understanding. Contact becomes awareness. The eye represents recognition. When you see the sigil, you are invited to recognize. Open quote. There is more available to me than the identity I previously used to explain myself. Close quote. Old identities no longer have to define the entire field. Thoughts can be observed, patterns can be recognized, fear can be investigated, possibilities can be noticed, and awareness can move beyond what it previously assumed was the limit. See it. Breathe. Notice. Awaken. The higher self connection. The sigil represents a meeting between the present self and the higher self, not a hierarchy where one version of you dominates another. A merging. Remember, recognize, merge, embody. The higher self becomes something you increasingly relate to through the way you imagine, create, connect, choose, and experience life. The sigil reminds you, open quote, I am larger than the identity I previously used to explain myself. Close quote. Shash the world opens. The sigil does not replace one rigid worldview with another. It deliberately leaves room for more. More ideas, more relationships, more creativity, more experiences, more worlds, more forms of consciousness, more ways of understanding existence, more possibilities that have not yet been imagined. This includes openness to connection with nature, animals, the earth, the cosmos, spiritual realities, unfamiliar forms of intelligence, other worlds, other planets, dreams, and possibilities that currently have no explanation. You don't have to decide beforehand exactly what any of these things are. The unknown is allowed to remain unknown. You are allowed to discover. The fairy tale principle. Because the system is alive, your world doesn't have to remain confined to what you were previously taught was possible. Your imagination can become strange, beautiful, cosmic, whimsical, surreal, unexplained. You might imagine something that has no existing category. You might create something that didn't exist before. You might encounter a possibility that feels almost fairy tale-like because you never had a framework for imagining it before. The point isn't to force every imagination into literal reality. The point is, open quote, don't automatically close a door simply because you were never taught that there was a door. Close quote. Possibility becomes the frontier. The sigil asks, open quote, what becomes imaginable when the old boundaries are no longer treated as final? Close quote. You can imagine new love, new friendships, new places, new creative work, new communities, new businesses, new experiences, new resources, new discoveries, new ways of living. And the possibilities continue expanding. One possibility can reveal another. Idea, pathway, connection, opportunity, creation, experience, new possibility. The system therefore isn't about reaching one final destination. It is about keeping the field alive and generative. IT is bigger than money. Money is part of life, but it is not the purpose of the sigil. If you need money, financial opportunities and resources can become part of the opening. If you already have money, the system continues beyond it. It can open people, ideas, opportunities, collaborations, relationships, creative directions, new environments, experiences, knowledge, resources, freedom. The deeper principle is, open quote, life continues opening. Close quote. Money is one doorway, possibility is the architecture. Love is included. The sigil creates room for love without requiring you to abandon yourself. It allows imagination around romance, partnership, friendship, family, community, affection, intimacy, belonging, devotion, and connection. The principle is, love plus sovereignty equals connection without disappearance. You can belong and remain yourself. You can connect and remain sovereign. You can create with others without becoming identical to them. Fear is redirected. Fear does not become the new center of consciousness. When fear appears, the system asks, what is this connected to? Where did it originate? What awareness does it reveal? What brings resolution, understanding, support, or release? The movement becomes fear, origin, awareness, resolution, freedom, return. The goal isn't to spend forever analyzing fear. The goal is to understand what is necessary, resolve what can be resolved, and return to living. Expansion with discernment. The imagination can remain expansive while real-world action remains grounded in safety, consent, sovereignty, discernment, well-being. That means you don't have to shrink imagination to remain grounded. You can explore enormous possibilities while consciously choosing what belongs in physical life. Unlimited imagination. Safe embodiment. The sigil as companion. The relationship with the sigil can deepen over time. You might return to it when you want to. Remember yourself. Connect with your higher self. Open imagination, dream. Create, reflect, ask questions. Explore possibility. Notice what is emerging. Something that means nothing to you today might become meaningful later. A color might spark an idea. A shape might connect with an experience. A moment of looking might open a completely unexpected thought. That is part of the living quality. You are not simply interpreting the sigil, you are developing a relationship with it. From activation to life. The sigil ultimately moves awareness into embodiment. After encountering it, ask, open quote, what wants to be created, close quote, open quote, what possibility is appearing, close quote, open quote, who am I being invited to connect with, close quote, open quote, what idea wants expression, close quote. Then let something enter physical life. Write it, build it, create it, explore it, speak it, research it, connect with someone. Take the first step. The sigil becomes part of a relationship between awareness and action. The final movement is always return. Return to yourself, your body, your imagination, your creativity, your relationships, your purpose, your love, your joy, your curiosity, your life. Return does not mean going backward. It means returning to the larger self with greater awareness. And because the architecture is alive, every return can reveal something new. Chash the activation. When you see the sigil, breathe and allow yourself to receive its symbolic transmission. Open quote, I recognize this architecture. I return to myself. I return to my higher self. As I breathe, I become aware of more. As I become aware, possibility opens. As possibility opens, my imagination expands. I remain available to people, ideas, relationships, resources, experiences, worlds, forms of connection, and possibilities I have not yet considered. I allow the unknown to remain larger than my current understanding. I allow myself to discover. I create. I receive. I connect. I explore. I love. I live. When fear appears, I become aware of its origin. I move toward resolution, understanding, support, and release. I do not make the old pattern my identity. I return my attention to life. I remain sovereign. I remain curious. I remain open. I allow my world to become uniquely mine. I allow this living architecture to expand with me. There is more, and I am available to discover it. Close quote. Shaft the essence. The return sigil is ultimately a living invitation to expand the definition of your world. It does not tell you what the universe must contain. It reminds you that you don't have to decide the limits of existence before you explore it. It connects you symbolically with your higher self, your imagination, other people, nature, the cosmos, the unknown, and the possibilities that emerge through relationship. It is a reminder that you can create, you can love, you can receive, you can discover, you can imagine beyond what you were taught. You can encounter something completely unexpected, and you can remain yourself while doing it. See it, breathe, become aware, remember, expand, connect, create, explore, embody, return. The sigil is alive. Your awareness is the contact. Your imagination is the expansion field. The unknown remains open, and your world gets to become
uniquely yours.